What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV, man. And look, I done started some stuff already, right? So, at the conclusion of the NBA Finals, the Lakers defeated the Miami Heat tonight. I see Jimmy Butler coming through the tunnel, and I decided to record a video. And in this video, I'm telling everybody that I told y'all Jimmy Butler is not a superstar at all. He not like that. His game is not like that, and I told y'all. And I'm like, this y'all man's right here. And I made that video in response to the critics because I made a video earlier, like last week, right? I made a video and I was calmly telling the world that Jimmy Butler, he's not a superstar. I said he was an all-star. I will even concede to the fact that he's a star, but he is not a superstar. There is a difference, right? And in my comments of that video, my previous video, a lot of Miami Heat fans and Jimmy Butler fans was in my comments talking crazy. You know what I mean? Cussing and everything, saying I don't know shit about basketball. All this and all of that, right? Especially when he had those career high games, when he had the 40-point triple-double and a 35-point triple-double, right? And I'm going to say this. Jimmy, he balled out in them games. In those games, he played big and he balled out, right? But those were those career high games. To me, Jimmy Butler cannot consistently do that on a night in and night out basis. He cannot. And I'm going to explain the difference between a superstar and a star to a lot of basketball fans. Because a lot of y'all don't know basketball for real. So I'm going to let y'all know something. A superstar is the best player on a championship winning team. Not a team that make it to the finals. He is the best player on a championship winning team. And even if he wasn't playing the Lakers, if they was playing the Clippers or somebody like, Jimmy Butler wasn't going to beat them either. Right? Because Jimmy Butler's game is not of superstar status. It's not. I've been watching Jimmy play for a very long time. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, all day long. So I've watched him from the beginning of his career with the Bulls and progressed. He's progressed extremely well, very nicely, to something I never thought he was going to be, right? But he's still not what y'all think he is. A team is not winning no championship with Jimmy Butler as the best player on their roster. I repeat, a team is not winning a championship with Jimmy Butler as the best player on its team. It's not happening. Jimmy could be the second option or the third option on a championship winning team. I'll give him second. He can't be the first option on a championship winning team. His game just not suited like that, right? He's a great complimentary piece, a great weapon to have. But he ain't no superstar. Ain't no team that winning no chip with him as the lead man. It's never going to happen. You can mark my words on this channel. It's not going down. I've seen his game play. Jimmy does not have the offensive repertoire to go night in, night out, to go out and just get big buckets every single night. He doesn't. If you are a big defender, if you're a big player, the big defender, you got long arms, you stretch your arms out, you don't jump on when he shoots, you don't foul him, he will have a hard time shooting over you and scoring over you. He can't find ways to score over you unless you just super slow. He could possibly blow past you and try to drive it into your chest and get a foul or get an and one or something like that. But his offensive game is not polished enough to where he can score over taller defenders or nothing like that, or even guys his size when they are as fast as him. He can't. You know what I mean? He can score over smaller guys and he can score past slower guys. But his offensive repertoire is not established or built to score over guys like Anthony Davis. No, it's not. I've watched it for a very long time. He's become a very, very good player. A very good player, right? He's become a very great defensive player. A great play guy. He had great games. But I'm telling y'all, I know what I know. He cannot be the best player on a championship winning team. Let me explain this too, right? Because I seen one dude on my video telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. He said, so you telling me Ben Wallace? He named some guys that were superstars, but then he named Ben Wallace. The man's star name is Sam Cassell. The man named Dikembe Mutombo. Fam. Again, a superstar is the best player on a championship winning team. When the hell in life was Ben Wallace ever a superstar? He was a defensive star, a defensive anchor, a Hall of Famer. But same with Dikembe Mutombo, a defensive anchor, a defensive star. But you was never riding Dikembe Mutombo to no championship. You was never riding Ben Wallace to no championship. You cannot ride Jimmy Butler all the way to a championship. You cannot, right? And I know people are going to say, well, he got to the championship game. He did, right? Him and the Miami Heat got there. They had a great solidified team. And yes, it's all about team basketball. But there were several games where Jimmy was just alright, right? And I saw Bam, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson. I saw Goran Dragic carry the load for them in several games where he was just alright. And y'all let him get the intangibles of him. Oh, but he the heart and soul. He the leader of the team. He had games where he was alright. He was just alright. 17. He was alright. And Bam and it was carrying the load. Goran Dragic was leading them in scoring all the way up until he got hurt. And I know basketball. Scoring is not everything in basketball. Of course it's not, right? But I seen Jimmy. People will let Jimmy, and I give him them for that 40-point triple-double and that 35-point triple-double. I get that to him. He balled out. Went 12 for 12 from the line. He can get to the free throw line like the best of them and convert them. I salute him on that, right? But I've seen games this year. He'll hit a big shot in the fourth quarter and get a big steal, a big defensive play, and SportsCenter will lead it and make it seem like they won because of him solely. And I watched the game. I'm like, fam, Goran Dragic and them, Tyler Hero and them out here balling out they mind. It was games where he was alright. He had a 40-point game against Milwaukee. The next couple of games he was alright. And Bam and Goran Dragic and them out there balling, right? So it's a difference, man. Jimmy is a star. I will concede he's a star. I said all-star, but I will give you star. He not no superstar, though. You can't ride him to no chip. You cannot ride him to say, give me Jimmy, here, win me the championship. His game not built like that. Everybody game not like that. It's certain players that's like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a LeBron James. It's a Kevin Durant. It's a Stephen Curry. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's guys like of that ilk. You got guys like, I would even though the Clippers lost, I would even say Kawhi Leonard is a superstar because he was the one consistent all the way through and through. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not like, no, Jimmy Butler not no superstar. He not. Yeah, and they beat Giannis. The Miami Heat was a better team. They outballed Milwaukee. But we all know Giannis is a superstar without no question. It's no question, right? But Jimmy his game it's not like that, right? But I'm gonna give y'all some insight, right? Because I'm gonna be real with y'all. A lot of it is basketball with Jimmy Butler. I see how he play, and I just can tell. I know what I know. I see what I see. He got to a great point in his career where he became a solidified all-star. You know what I mean? He making all-star teams, his team going to the playoffs. He's making a difference on his teams, but you cannot ride dude and say, here, win me the championship. Here, win me the title. You can't do that with him. You can do that with a Kevin Durant. You can do that with a LeBron James. You know what I'm saying? You can do that with a Stephen Curry or whatever. Yes, they need help, but at the end of the day, you know that man night in and night out can give you that business, that work. His offensive repertoire is solidified where he can do an array of things to where you cannot stop him. You can only hope to contain him. It's nice when you can stop Jimmy Butler. I saw it even in the finals, games in the finals where he played bad. Tonight he played bad. He played terrible tonight. The whole team did, but he played terrible. What was that, game 3? I saw the game play. He did not play good that game at all. He didn't play good at all. Passive, tentative. He had like 20 points, but he passing it out because AD was out there on the wing guarding him, long legs. He's coordinated. And I know everybody gonna say AD will do that to anybody, but a lot of dudes, as long as you're big, if you're a big dude and you got some coordination, you're long, you're at least his height, and you don't foul him, you're gonna be all right against Jimmy. He's gonna have some moments, but you'll be all right if he don't get to that line. You know what I'm saying? And you are as quick as him or can keep up. He'll have a hard time really getting big buckets. That's why I'm like, his name Jimmy Buckets, but I know he scored the 40 and the 35, but he's not a give me a bucket type of player. Give me the bucket. He'll give me the bucket anytime around. Yeah, he gives you some buckets here and there. I say he'll hit a big shot here and there, but he ain't a guy that you can just say, give me the buckets. I need 12 points in a row. Give it to me. KD, hell yeah. I seen LeBron, hell yeah. James Harden, hell yeah. Steph Curry, hell yeah. I saw it. Jimmy game ain't like that. But I'm going to open it up to some real stuff right now, right? I told y'all I'm from Chicago, Illinois. My heart and soul bleed the crib. If you cut me right now, Chicago, Illinois, come out my skin right now. It'll just fall out. 773 will bleed out of me. No lie. I'm that Chicago for real. And so is a young man by the name of Derrick Rose, right? And when Pooh was here, when Pooh started to get hurt, I will never forget how the media, in particular, a lot of the white media vilified Derrick Rose because they hate that Southside Chicago shit. Because Pooh from the crib for real, he from out south. They hate that Southside Chicago shit. They was calling them, they hate that public school stuff, calling them, basically trying to use words to call them dumb and so on and so forth, right? They vilified Pooh in order to build up dude, Jimmy Butler. And I watched it with my own two eyes. Talked about Pooh like he wasn't shit, like he was a dog. After dude won MVP. Act like he wasn't nothing, and then lifted up Jimmy Butler on his pedestal because he got the perfect blindside story. He listens to Taylor Swift and country music and all that, so he's more digestible for them compared to Derrick Rose. And I saw it all the time. I saw that shit with my own two eyes, and I'm never going to let that shit ride. Because I remember when they made a column, and they going to say, who the best players outside of Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and them boys put Jimmy Butler up there. Fam, stop playing. Yes, I know Jimmy Butler has had a longer wave, a longer span of his career of being an all-star because of injuries. But at that point, hell, even to this point, no. Because dude ain't won no MVP trophy. And I don't give a damn what nobody say. Y'all know I'm the biggest LeBron James fan you can find. Bron wasn't supposed to win that MVP that year Pooh won it. When Pooh won the MVP. Derrick Pooh Rose was supposed to win that MVP. Why? Because he had us with the best record in the NBA with Keith goddamn Bogus as his two guard. The second best scorer on the team was Luol Deng. You can say the Bulls was a good team. Y'all know Joakim was never no scorer. Fam averaged 12 points his best year. 12, 13 points. He was never no scorer. He was never no scorer. Yes, he was a great defensive anchor. He was hard. He was all heart and hustle. He was explosive defensively. He came up big and gave you great hustle points. But y'all know you can never give it to Joakim and tell him to go to work and score. Hell no. They would have never made it that far without Pooh. Pooh had them boys with the best record in the entire league, 62-20. I remember that, right? And the man was MVP. The first MVP we didn't have since Michael Jeffrey Jordan. For real, the first MVP from Chicago public school I remember, fool. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Like, in my time, I seen a dude from the crib, from out south from the crib, from Chicago, Illinois, from the GO, come and do that in the city, in his own crib. And I saw the media vilify him and turn on him like he wasn't shit. And a lot of it had to do with the disdain they had for that young man because he didn't give them the access that they wanted him to have because he was an introvert, right? And y'all know how they do when they get mad when they don't get certain insight to you. Only Sam Smith, shout out to Sam Smith, he an OG, and he called it. A lot of that hate was racial. They hated Pooh because he was Chicago, Illinois, heart and soul, South Side. It's the tale of two cities in Chicago, Illinois. And the white media did not like that Pooh did not talk to them in a way that they wanted to talk to him. He didn't give them the access to him. He didn't talk he didn't articulate his words in a certain manner or a certain way like he was a Harvard scholar to their liking. They didn't like that. After he got injured, they had a problem with him, right? Or he said he wanted to be there healthy for his kids' graduation or whatever because he wasn't trying to rush back and hurt himself even worse because they wanted him to do that, right? And so when Pooh didn't do what they wanted him to do, they jumped on Jimmy bandwagon because Jimmy started to emerge and he started to play very, very well, right? And so when Pooh started having them nagging injuries and Jimmy started playing well, they started propping up Jimmy on this pedestal like he was just the prototypic. He was just the prototype of everything you're supposed to be, right? And I keep telling y'all, yeah, dude, he works very hard, right? But I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. Sometimes hard work you can work hard as you want to. Some dudes is like their game is just it, right? Jimmy can play. He worked hard to be an all-star. He worked hard to be a star. He not going to be no superstar, though. He not going to be the dude that can win you a championship. Say, here, get him the ball, and he can take you all the way and win you a championship. His game not suited like that. I've seen it. I've seen it's not. I know y'all want it to be, but it's not. Y'all got to learn the difference, fam. Ben Wallace, Dikembe Mutombo, they were defensive stars. But they was never no superstar. Dude threw out Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman is a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest defensive players we ever seen with our own two eyes, right? A defensive star, Hall of Famer. He was never no superstar. Dennis wasn't no superstar. You couldn't get a ball to Dennis and say, take us to the chip. Hell no. Michael Jeffrey Jordan was. Everybody know that. But Dennis was the anchor on the defense. But he wasn't no superstar where you could just give him the ball and ride him to the chip. Y'all got to learn the difference between a star and a superstar. Everybody not a superstar because they can average 20 in a game. If they can have a big breakout game of 40 points and a triple-double. They not superstars. They not. I seen Brad Beal have big games. Like, he ain't no superstar, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's a difference. It's a difference. Kyle Lowry had big old game. He ain't no superstar. I don't care how many all-star appearances he made. He not no superstar, man. But I seen how they vilified Pooh, and it was a lot of that had to do with the fact that Pooh was from the crib from out south, Chicago public school, and he didn't have to go to these big prestigious journalism schools and Yale and all these Ivy League schools to earn more money than these reporters that spent their whole life trying to become millionaires, and they felt some type of way about it. Cause dude really from the crib, like dude he's Chicago at heart. He's a Chicago public school kid, but he was an introvert. He didn't talk to them and give them the access that they wanted, so they started talking bad on his name, talking down on him, and propping Jimmy up as the way to do it, like he was the savior. Heart and soul. Chicago, Illinois. What did Jimmy do when he was here? Yes, he played great and he kept the Bulls afloat during times, but to act like he was MVP, Jimmy ain't never gonna be MVP of the league. He just not. And why? Because his game ain't like that. And I don't care if you can. And Pooh, Derrick Pooh Rose's prime was short. He ain't never been what Pooh was. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. He ain't never been what Pooh was, right? And it ain't just my Chicago bias talking, because I am biased when it comes to Chicago. You feel me? My favorite players in the league was D Rose and LeBron James, right? But I seen what Pooh was. Pooh had us out there, like, for real, man. We wasn't supposed to win those 62 damn games, bro. For real? Like, man, come on. Dude was an MVP because he was like that, and we wasn't winning no games without dude, right? It was several times in Miami Heat was Jimmy was aight, and Miami won because Goran Dragic, Tyler Hero and them was balling. Bam was balling. Kendrick, look, man, K Nunn, shout out Chicago, Illinois, man. Shout out Simeon, man. He came from Simeon like D Rose. K Nunn hooping. It's a difference, man. Like, come on, man. I know what I'm seeing. And I know y'all love Jimmy because he's a hard worker, and y'all love his success story of him being homeless and, you know, him being taken in and the way he became. That's great. That's cool. That's cool. But he not no superstar. His offensive game ain't solidified like that. He ain't like that. I know y'all want him to be, but he just ain't like that, y'all. He ain't cut like that. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. But if Pooh would have had a longer prime, you would have saw the difference between him and Pooh. It for real. It for real, man. Like, Pooh won an MVP for a reason. He could give out smoke to everybody. You feel me? He could give out smoke to everybody. You know what I mean? So, but I will never forget how they vilified Pooh like he wasn't nothing. Acting like he wasn't nothing. And acting like he was just any old regular dude and talking like he was talking about him like he was dumb and all this and all of that. And Jimmy Butler was just a heart and soul. Again, I remember when we had Rondo in the squad. Y'all seen what Rondo did tonight, so shout out Rondo, right? Shout out Rondo, salute. When the Bulls had Rondo got hurt. We was up 2-0 against Isaiah Thomas and the Boston Celtics. Dude, Jimmy Butler, along with Dwayne Wade, lost 4 straight games. 4 games in a row to Isaiah Thomas now. Isaiah Thomas, I knew then, dude wasn't like that. I knew right then he wasn't like that. Yes, he's evolved over the years. I just know he's a great player, a weapon to have on your squad. Similar to Kyrie Irving, because Kyrie ain't no superstar either. He's a star. But I'll give him the nod over Jimmy Butler for real. I give him the nod over him. But Kyrie ain't no superstar either. He's a star, right? Just like Kyrie, he's a weapon that you add to a team to get you over the hump, right? He can never be the best player on a championship winning team. Kyrie Irving can't be the best player on the championship winning team, and neither can Jimmy Butler. It ain't happening, fam. It's not happening. I don't care what y'all say. You can get mad, you can cuss, you can scream, and people talking about, oh, this why, you know, people can't stand LeBron fans. Fam, quite frankly, I don't give a fuck if you like me, if people like me or not. I just don't. I don't give a fuck if you like me or you like the fact that if you like the fact that I'm a LeBron James fan. I don't care. I don't care. You don't got to like me. You gonna respect me though. But at the end of the day, look, it ain't even about LeBron in this instance. It's about dude, man. I watched dude game. I know he ain't like that. I know he's a star. He ain't no superstar though, right? But again, a lot of it got to do with his game. But the other part too was what Jimmy was doing, right? And I seen y'all Oh, I thought he was a bad teammate. Woo, woo. Dude was a bad teammate in Minnesota. Dude wasn't like he could be a problem in Philly, right? And when he was in Chicago, called them young boys out in front of the whole media. That shit you do behind closed doors, not in public. It calling out the young boy dudes ain't playing hard and all this and all that. Fam, just because you have to stay in the gym all day, some dudes like that, right? Some dudes just like that, and their game is like that. You gotta stay in the gym like that because you wasn't just like that. And great, you worked hard and you became that guy. But don't be trying to belittle them other dudes in front of the whole media and stuff. That's why when Rajon Rondo called his ass out and told him that ain't solid, fam. That's when I knew Rondo was a real one. I knew it right then. Jimmy on a team right now where people look up to him. So they not looking at him as a peer. Them young boys respect him. They look up to him, so they playing with him. You know what I'm saying? He's on a team where young dudes, they got a good squad, right? But, you know, to act like he's just this great all-time leader now, nah. We saw what we saw in them other times, them other places he was at. When JJ Redick, they asked JJ Redick, was Jimmy hard to play with? JJ responded on some stuff like, you got to understand him, you got to know him to kind of know, you got to understand him to know what he's like or whatever. You got to really know him and be around him or something like that to really get him. Anytime a dude say that, when you ask the dude, is he a good teammate or not, and he say some shit like that, or you got to understand him, you got to kind of get to know his personality, get to know him, that mean dude can low-key be an asshole, you know what I'm saying? But some people can deal with him, some people can't. He can be an asshole to certain people, and to some people, he cool with them. He can rub some people the wrong way, and other people he cool with them. He, you know, it's like night and day or whatever, right? That's what that is, man. But he's not a superstar, y'all. I know y'all hate me. I know y'all can't stand that I said it, but it is what it is. And tonight showed that. In a big closeout game, he did not perform well at all. And don't give me that tired excuse. He wasn't a hoop.